Hello, everyone. Hello. Good morning, and welcome to today's CX webinar, exclusive deep dive into Spark Matrix VoC report. We are very excited to have you here. I hope everyone enjoyed their Thanksgiving holiday and spent a good time along with family and friends. My name is Paulina Rodriguez. I'm the marketing delivery manager of QuestionPro CX, and I'm very thrilled to be presenting our two guest speakers of the day, Shruti Jadhav and Ken Peterson. Before we jump into introductions, I'd like to invite you. Actually, let me just share this. There we go. I'd like to invite you to share in the comment section of the social media where you're watching us, where are you currently located. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to just drop them on the box and we'll make sure to answer them towards the end of our webinar. It is my pleasure to introduce Shruti Jadhav to the stage. Hi, Shruti. Shruti Jadhav is the Associate Director, Research Director at Quadrant Knowledge Solutions, and she's responsible for conducting and managing global strategic market outlook, market insights, technology guide, Spark Matrix analysis, and user consulting assignments. Her main research focus areas include customer experience, digital commerce, marketing technology, advanced analytics, and artificial intelligence. So welcome, Shruti. I'd also like to welcome to the stage Ken Peterson, aka my boss, and he has over 2 decades of experience in CX research, focusing on combining operational with experience data to generate business insight and global CX deployments. Ken has had the privilege of helping clients in retail and hospitality, technology, travel, automotive, sports, plenty of industries, as you can see, and media, and to better understand how to make use of the vast quantities of data that is now available around, but they're often underutilized or and misinterpreted. So welcome, Shruti and Ken. We've got a lot to cover, and as mentioned earlier, we're going to start off with Shruti. So without further ado, Shruti, take it away.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for the introduction, Paulina, and it is a pleasure to be a part of today's session. And hi, everyone. This is Shruti Jadhav from Quadrant Knowledge Solutions, and I'm here to talk about some of the key research findings of our Spark Matrix Voice of Customer Platform Report 2021. And I would like to firstly thank QuestionPro for giving us this opportunity. And thank you everyone for joining this session. So let me quickly take you through the agenda. Uh, right. So let me give you a quick, pointers on what all we'll be covering today. So firstly, we'll look at the key market drivers of the VoC platforms. Next, I will give you a quick overview of the Voice of Customer Platform framework. Later, we'll touch upon the key technology trends, followed with the Spark Matrix, highlighting the competitive landscape of the Voice of Customer Platform market. And lastly, the recommendation on vendor evaluation. Uh, so let's move on to the next slide um, and cover some of the key market drivers of the VoC platforms market. So globally, as we are already aware that brands have been adopting several VoC tools such as online customer feedback forms, surveys, reviews, etc., that help capture the voice of their customers regarding their products or services. Again, capturing VoC through various sources is not new to organizations, and organizations are continuously focusing on building VoC campaigns that can help them frame customer engagement strategies by understanding consumer demands. So, having said that, we clearly see that brands are increasingly relying on customer feedback and conversations to improvise the customer experiences. And therefore, continued investments towards several digital transformation projects and customer-centric initiatives would be one of the primary drivers of the VoC platforms market. Next, we also see that VoC platform vendors are extensively leveraging advanced technologies such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, advanced analytics, and automation to offer advanced capabilities such as enhanced text and speech analytics, improved out-of-the-box AI models to deliver predictive insights, optimize operational efficiency, self-service capabilities, and deliver enhanced contextual and hyper-personalized experience. Um, well, I'll be covering all of this in detail in the upcoming slide, but what we see is that these advanced technologies are certainly helping the vendors in offering innovative VoC solutions in a big way. And we can expect that VoC vendors will continue to significantly invest in these advanced technologies for improving the platform's capabilities to support a wide range of marketing and CX specific use cases, as well as improve the overall campaign and business performance. Then the next driver would be the shift in the, yeah, I think we can just go to the previous slide. Yeah, yeah, thank you. So, yeah, so the next driver would be the shift in the requirements of the skills of the CX professionals and practitioners, where there's a growing focus on building and training frontline teams to address various challenges. So it is basically to empower the concerned employees to talk directly to the customers and take appropriate action on any negative feedback provided, and also continuously ensure that there is a seamless customer experience at all levels. Then would be the robust value propositions VoC and contact center technologies are offering, which typically moves beyond surveys, automates experience data flows, drives action at all levels, which allows organizations to take real-time operational and strategic actions and make smart as well as informed business decisions. Again, I will cover some of the key capabilities in this regards on the next slide. Now, looking at the last driver, as we know, in the last 2 years, especially with the onset of pandemic, and we continue to see disrupted business scenarios across various industries. So, there is increase in remote working, change in customers' shopping behavior. For example, pandemic has brought in significant changes in customers' purchasing habits, means, and motives. As we know that the necessity to maintain social distancing has compelled customers to favor digital channels over traditional channels. Uh, so while customers continue to adopt a wide range of channels, VoC vendors are helping businesses collect data from various digital channels and offer insights on the changing customer preferences, habits, spend, and etc. The VoC platforms are also helping brands to capture, combine, analyze, and act upon direct, indirect, and operational feedback that is collected through various channels to enable them to transform customer experience at scale and achieve business goals to sustain in a situation like this. So, therefore, we see that the need to listen, measure, and compare customer experiences as well as understand business performance has, become important than ever. And as a result, significant investments in VoC platforms we see are possibility to grow, with organizations focusing more on tracking and analyzing customer expectations and challenges at a greater level. Okay, we can move on to the next slide. Okay, so on this slide, I would like to give you a broad overview of the VoC platforms, and we've tried to present our understanding of a modern, or you can say advanced VoC platform on this slide. All right, so brands, as we know, are looking at adopting an end-to-end approach to design VoC programs, gain advanced customer insights, and also drive personalized engagement in an omni-channel environment. So here we see how the platform helps brands to build an effective voice of customer program that typically involves connection of data through various sources and channels, analysis of data to understand the customer expectations, and utilize the derived insights to take actions to improve the specific areas of business. And therefore, we see that vendors are continuously focusing on supporting an omni-channel approach to understanding not only the active feedback but also the passive and the inferred feedback in order to gain a broader perspective of the customer journeys. And we see that VoC platforms are helping brands to capture customer interactions in a more holistic way, and further helping them in understanding the customer pain points and sentiments in detail, and immediately share the feedback with the cross-functional teams for immediate action. Okay, so maybe we can go to the next slide now. Right. So till here, we've seen how VoC platforms have become an integral part of the customer's engagement and retention strategies. But what is the key value proposition of a VoC platform that makes it so important? So let's understand that here. So firstly, it would be its ability to capture comprehensive VoC data, including direct, indirect, and inferred customer feedback from multiple channels. Secondly, it allows organizations to engage with their customers and conduct surveys through multiple channels, as we discussed, including web, telephone, offline, mobile, etc. Then it would be its survey designing and authoring capability that it offers. So a VoC platform offers a native survey designing tool that allows users to create sophisticated and personalized feedback surveys. Various platforms offer pre-built, customizable survey templates and questionnaires, which can be, designed for every step of the customer's journey. Which we also, see it as one of the key trends where there is an increasing focus on offering targeted surveys and personalized survey experience. So as customers are prone to ignore, generic surveys, especially lengthy surveys, and which may cause survey fatigue, many VoC vendors have either incorporated or currently emphasizing on the addition of a contextual targeted survey feature to offer it to their offering, and also providing different survey types to drive better engagement. Next would be its ability to integrate with various data sources, including platforms such as social media, CRM, point of sale, ERP, digital experience platforms, financial systems. This is to provide a comprehensive view of the customer and business aspects in detail. And this will be followed with its action management capability to facilitate closed loop feedback. Last but not the least, would be the advanced reporting capabilities that it offers. So it allows users to build sophisticated dashboards with data and visualizations by leveraging key driver analysis, trends and correlations, text analytics, speech analytics, cross data analytics, and so on. So with the rise in the number of data sources and customer expressing their feedback, pain points, reviews across multiple channels, gathering and analyzing such huge volumes of data is becoming a cumbersome and a tedious task for the enterprises. And this challenging process is creating the need for VoC tools and platforms to a greater extent. And it empowers organizations to derive more value from multiple data sources in an omni-channel environment and optimize engagement strategies to meet the CX goals. Okay, so maybe we can move on to the next slide. All right, so now let's look at some of the key trends in the VoC platform market, and how AI and ML technologies are helping VoC platforms to offer VoC advanced VoC features and functionalities. So as we know that adoption of VoC tools is common, and brands are able to capture customer feedback across various channels successfully. but they often fail to address the customer points. So by leveraging artificial intelligence and machine learning technologies, VOC vendors are helping brands to capture and understand customer feedback in a more holistic way, and also address any negative feedback efficiently. It is also enabling vendors to deliver improved data analysis capabilities and capture VOC feedback across various channels besides direct surveys. So, for example, the modern VOC platform is equipped with speech analytics capabilities that uses AI to offer important CX insights and facilitate intelligent actions based on recorded calls. VOC vendors are also leveraging AI-powered text analytics to facilitate sentiment analysis, analyze feedback from customers across social media and review sites, and uncover new issues and identify new trends. Um, uh, and then besides that, yes, so AI is also used to ensure closed loop feedback by identifying customers that are likely to churn. It also highlights issues that need immediate attention by alerting the employees, and also helps prioritizing the follow up action to it. Um, and therefore, we see that AI ML is helping organizations uncover interesting customer data insights, and it's enabling business leaders to act upon these insights efficiently. Again, talking about the speech, text, and sentiment and predictive analysis, I think will continue to provide users with a comprehensive understanding of customer pitch, tone, behavior, and satisfaction. So in the coming years, I think the use of AI to derive actionable VOC insights will rise significantly. So having said that, I think we think the market is expected to witness new entrants offering robust VOC platforms that will enable brands to measure, analyze, and anticipate customer behavior, churn, and loyalty in an efficient manner. Okay, so maybe we can move on to the next slide and cover, yes. So this is one trend, and there is, as we know, there's an increasing focus on combining voice of customer and voice of employee programs. And as we are aware that earlier the VOC and VoE programs were often treated separately, where they had their separate objectives and were run by organizations in isolation. But uh, with the realization that employee experience directly impacts customer experience, we see that organizations are now focusing on converging these programs to ensure long-term growth. Organizations are also empowering their frontline staff by providing them with the means to share customer-related experience data and observations through various channels. And these teams, as we know, are crucial in understanding the customer feedback patterns, and also help organizations to enrich the customer experience. So the convergence of these programs is helping organizations enhance internal processes and performance for driving operational efficiency. And organizations can link their voice of employee and voice of customer programs by determining, assessing, and mining key VOC and VOE metrics. And as a result, VOC platform vendors are focusing on offering robust VOC and VOE capabilities to help organizations capture and analyze customer and employee feedback effectively, and also inculcate an action oriented customer first approach environment within the organization. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. And yeah, so on this slide, we will cover the competitive landscape of the voice of customer platform market 2021 in Spark Matrix. So Spark is Quadrant Knowledge Solutions proprietary tool that stands for Strategic Performance Assessment and Ranking. And it provides a snapshot of the market positioning of the key market participants, and also offers strategic insights on how each supplier ranks related to their competitors concerning various performance-based performance parameters, which are based on the category of technology excellence and customer impact. So as you can see, Confirmit, InMoment, Medallia, NICE, Qualtrics, QuestionPro, and Quadrant are amongst the top performers and technology leaders in the 2021 Spark Matrix analysis for the global voice of customer platform market. And these companies provide a sophisticated and comprehensive technology platform to address a variety of VoC, VoE, and other customer experience use cases to enhance products and services, operational efficiency, and drive personalized customer engagements in an omni-channel environment. Um, well, these vendors are also at the forefront in providing modern architecture, comprehensive out-of-the-box capabilities, and integration interoperability with various data sources and marketing execution systems. So I would like to summarize, broadly summarize this slide with and some analysis on the technology trends here. So the voice of customer vendors we see are increasingly emphasizing on strengthening their platform's capabilities by leveraging artificial intelligence, machine learning, automation, analytics modules to deliver deep actionable insights, experience insights, and also provide out of the box and self-service support, expand the channels, also cater to diverse marketing use cases, and enhance integration, feedback collection, and advanced business intelligence capabilities too. Vendors would continue to augment their AI-powered predictive models to assess customers' touch points for understanding customer behavior, action, satisfaction, and more. And organizations are consistently looking at CX tools that adapt with their evolving business model and enable them to efficiently design business as well as customer-centric strategies. So as the VoC market consists of multiple vendors with varying platform capabilities and supporting services, brands usually, face a challenge in understanding the best fit VoC platform or tool for their high-level business critical requirements. On the next slide, I will provide some recommendations on vendor evaluation. Firstly, certainly brands should evaluate VoC platforms that offer a sophisticated and comprehensive feedback capture and analysis capability. So besides capturing feedback across conversations, speech, social media, direct surveys, as well as AI-powered feedback capture capabilities such as text analytics that help organizations understand unstructured data and sentiments. Users, I think, should also evaluate VoC platforms that offer or rather help them capture feedback from any IoT device, irrespective of the customer's locations, along with speech analytics capabilities that help organizations transcribe and analyze a large volumes of recorded calls. Uh, I think also the platform should leverage chatbots and conversational surveys to enable organizations to obtain a specific, customer insights, eliminating the need for extensive and generalized surveys. Uh, Again, provide it should also provide a robust case management and action management capability, along with real-time alerts and notifications to resolve issues raised by the customers in a timely manner. Uh, Again, seamless integration and interoperability with organizations' existing technologies, which is again one of the most crucial factors that impacts the technology deployment and ownership experience. So, uh, VoC vendors should provide a range of built-in out-of-the-box integration connectors, data integration framework, RESTful APIs to deliver a seamless end-user experience. Uh, Again, its ability to support integration with several third-party enterprise tools and platforms. We've already covered this. Again, it's an important point with platforms such as CRM, social media, customer service, help desk, marketing automation, ERP, and so on. Okay, scalability and flexibility would again be an important aspect, as it should provide enough scalability to support sophisticated tools, various categories for survey questions, comprehensive reports, advanced survey layouts, automation workflows to meet the needs of voice of customer, voice of employee, user experience, and market research program through a single platform. Uh, so we have covered the native survey designing tool already. Again, pre-built customizable survey templates and questionnaires that's there. Also, along with that, I think it should also be equipped with survey logic support to fit the right survey with the right group of respondents. So the platform should allow users to author and deploy survey across various channels as well, including mails, messages, and many more. So also, along with that, it should allow users to monitor respondents' action and overall survey performance in real time from a single place. Uh, Users may evaluate VoC platforms that offer an enterprise-level VoC platform along with professional services for delivering personalized and actionable insights. So, this collaborative approach will help vendors and enable organizations to leverage and act upon these actionable insights to drive better customer experience, also create an effective action plan for product and service development, optimize operational efficiency, and make informed decisions and drive productivity. So, lastly, I think the primary factor again would be the VoC VoC platform's ability to provide comprehensive analytics, reporting, and AI capabilities. So, users should evaluate vendors' capabilities in delivering a robust platform with an easy and intuitive graphical interface. It should also help users analyze unique customer journeys and identify and prioritize both obstacles and also the opportunities that impact the business outcome. It should offer deep dive. It should offer deep insights which are related to customers journeys that help them understand the complex metrics, including total customer churn, monthly revenue loss, and so on. Again, robust reporting and customizable, configurable interactive dashboarding capabilities is an important aspect, along with visualization, operational or role-based cross-functional experience and insights. And also, it should allow users to share these visualizations with the team members in the form of PDFs, Excel, and various document formats. So we've just tried to cover a few recommendations here that we felt are important. And with this, I would like to conclude my part of the presentation and would like to take any questions if there are towards the Q&A slot. So from here, I would request Ken to take over and share his insights on the VoC platforms. Thank you so much.
I'm going to take a few minutes here and go ahead and really provide a quick overview of our VoC platform and touching on some of those points that Shruti had mentioned. Certainly in the short time, we won't be able to cover all of it, but happy to deep dive into any questions and also certainly take questions offline and deep dive into them as well. First, when we were talking, Shruti had mentioned about a well-rounded platform, and it's one of the things that we take pride in here with QuestionPro, and in terms of being able to demonstrate all these different functionalities all in one platform. When we talk about the voice of the customer, we talk about the voice of the employee with our workforce, and then our market research platform, sort of bringing all three of those practices together, but also the full featured communities that we're able to provide, and that we really take pride in, because it connects market research as well as the customer experience research, and you can even integrate that in with the voice of the employee to get that qualitative as well as the quantitative all in one place, and across look at information from across them. Now I'm going to dive a little more in just where I have my 20 years of expertise, just to demonstrate that part of the platform. It's in the CX, a lot of the things are transferable, and the knowledge is transferable from one part of the platform to the other platform. But starting really at the highest level, and some of the things that we look at when we're building out our surveys is I started this feedback folder level, which seems very simplistic, but at the same time, we're talking about being able to build different groups of feedback all in one platform, but also having the ability to separate them. So you can actually use these feedback folders to keep everything contained in one place, so you can look across the entire organization. But for example, should you decide, oh, well, we don't want the contact center feedback mixing with in-branch feedback for this, in this example, a branch baking solution, you have the means to separate them with the feedback folder. Once you get into that feedback folder, the platform has all the approaches for obtaining the feedback that the company will need. You can build an unlimited number of surveys, and there's certainly a very large swath of approaches that you can use to get the feedback. So for example, you can use a feedback tab, you can use a pop-up, you can use a exit survey when someone hovers around the X and tries to bring that survey into place. When they try to exit that tab to get that survey, pop them up with the survey there, and we can use that. That's just the top level of being able to see that and view that. And then there's also deployment, beyond all that. So where you can actually, say within a branch, do some sort of receipt-based or kiosk, even offline surveys with our app, open link, email or SMS following a transaction triggered from either something within the system, something that sends to our system, or any number of connections, like auto-generating a survey link through an API interaction, as well as integrations like Salesforce, things of that nature. And being able to bring those more advanced things to light, such as integration with mobile apps, being able to get feedback from within a mobile app designed on triggers based on usage or install time or certain actions that are taken, as well as even more advanced if you wanted to integrate survey data from an interactive voice response system, and being able to bring that in and analyze it within here. So obviously there's a number of ways to get the feedback that you need. So what I'll do, I showed you just there the feedback tab, and that feedback tab can be used to redirect at the end. It's very important to be able to re-engage the customer, be able to keep them, if they're having problems finding something on the website, that you can actually redirect them to the end of the page at that. So, when they go through the survey, and you'll notice the fluid design and ease of use in it. But at the end of the survey, you thank them for the inputs, but you can also redirect them to some point in their site, that if they were having problems finding information about opening a new account or things like that, that you can quickly and easily do that from the redirect at the end of the survey. I mentioned before, we actually also integrate with the customer communities that we have. So, when we start looking at the questions, and I'm going to open up a sort of a basic transaction survey. The building the survey is really easy. It has over 50 question types that you can add, with more being added all the time. So we can talk about things such as standard question types, the multiple select, single select, all the ranking questions, ranking order, but being able to bring all those types of questions to bear. And then really the more advanced questions, and some of these are not advanced in terms of the thinking or the logic, but really very targeted for specific purposes. So when you start talking about something like the NPS, we actually have our proprietary tool called NPS+, which really sort of takes that promise of one question, one open end that was formed way back in 2003, a long time ago when I was getting into the industry, and then really builds on that promise by adding one click and the option for customers to vote. And I'll show that in action in a moment. But then other, really key questions, we talk about, some of the new stuff in market research, live cast, recording short videos, understanding the sentiment, and then of course tools like sentiment analysis. So within that, and as I promised, a quick preview of what NPS+ looks like in action, so you can see the flow of the survey and how easy it is. It is pretty dynamic in terms of being able to render to any device. But that flow plus that one quick, what we call the root cause, being able to find that one thing that stands out to them, which usually, in most cases, a customer is able to pick that one thing that stood out, whether it's a positive or a negative, to be able to bring it back. And then, as I mentioned, being able to vote on ideas. This is sort of an idea we took from communities, being able to vote on an idea, change, really take votes and find content, co-create with your customers, and be able to pull that all in together. And then, the standard questions, as you can see here, being able to roll through a matrix in a nice, easy format. And then being able to add, it's so easy to add questions, being able to, take something like this question and have it as a temporary thing. Do you use the credit card? And very easy to add questions in that into that interface because it's very visual. You have these blocks that you can go in here and just say, okay, I need to add a question or take that question out, things of that nature. And then all the logic and things that sit in the background. There's certainly dozens of ways to build out logic and be able to do skip patterns, routines, things of that nature. So I'll show you a little bit more in terms of design, very quickly. You can really build out the design to make it fit your brand. So it's the design element that you can bring, one of our standard themes. You can bring in a custom theme or even your own cascading style sheet, and then also be able to set certain things up to make it feel like you want everything from exit and return to auto submits, things of that nature. And then, of course, one of the things we take pride in is that we have the ability to launch the survey in 99 different languages, many of which can be auto-translated for you. And then, as I mentioned, the ability to customize the finish of the survey, it can go to a blank, a standard thank you page that's hosted on our site. It can redirect to a web page, and then we can even customize it so you can push promoters out to review websites, for example, or you can customize, based on they needed help with certain things to be able to go in there and push out, instead of just pushing them to a standard thank you page, pushing them to a page where they can be helped, where you can cross-sell, where you can upsell. And in addition to being able to cross-sell and upsell from there, I noted that one question about the rewards debit card. Notifications are key in any voice of the customer program. Notifications let people know that someone's upset. But it's also, there's possibilities for notifications to be able to cross-sell and upsell. Being able to say, in this case, I mentioned the rewards, being able to say, hey, we can look at any of the people that said they don't have our branded debit card and be able to reach out to them directly or set up a notification for someone on the staff to reach out. And the emails can be highly customized, so that you can actually see it as a marketing email. You can provide links within there, make it represent your brand still, even as you send those out, and really take advantage of opportunities to find out more where the customer you can meet more customer needs as a result of this. Then, as I mentioned, it also it sets up tickets for detractors. You can use any number of criteria. You can use text criteria. You can look for keywords. Someone says lawsuit, being able to create a ticket on that. And then even define the ticket priority, which is key. I mean, so certain things like if you were looking at a cross-sell upsell opportunity, obviously that's a different level of priority than someone that's upset or mentioned that the keyword lawsuit or something like that. And it really builds it into this all-in-one view um, here in action, where you can actually take a quick look and see all your tickets. You'll see them based on access rights. So I have top level access, so I can see all the tickets. I can even filter out the tickets based on the different locations. But someone that only has access to, say, San Francisco will only see the San Francisco segment. So you can review the key elements. You can click here and see the individual response from the survey. So not only do you have the survey response, but you can also check out any notes that may have been taken before, any actions that may have been taken before, and then assign a new status, update the priority if needed, close, resolve it and close it, or escalate it if needed, or even reassign if need to, and then add those comments, and those comments will show up for subsequent users as well. So if it does get transferred or someone else starts working it, all that information is contained in there. And then you can close it out like that. And then, of course, this is just one part of, I'll call it the post interaction. The second part is really the understanding, and certainly very important, is that analytics side. So I'm going to start out really sort of showing a quick feature on our manager dashboards. These are distributed dashboards. They're widget based. You can have a variety of different widgets that you can add in here. Very easy to add, very comprehensive in terms of the information you can show on a distributed level. Everything from the top level NPS questions, CSAT questions, sentiment analysis if you need text sentiment analysis, and then other question types that we'll show some quick examples here. But it's very easy to add. It's comprehensive. This here is a case of our NPS Plus, where we're able to go in here and look at not just the NPS and the trends, which is important, but as I mentioned, being able to get two for one with that additional root cause click, looking at promoters, passives, and detractors, and finding the things where you can improve or the things that stand out in the experience. But then taking it a step further and conducting some churn risk analytics, and being able to not just understand that, hey, we recognize that detractors are churn risk, but also finding those that might be passives that are churn risk. They're sitting there, they're dwelling in experience after experience that's slowly eroding their potential loyalty to you. So really bringing that together, and then as I mentioned before, the customer co-creation, being able to look at ideas, see the ones that are being voted on, and actually be not only who came up with the idea, but who's voting on it, who's upvoting those ideas and their votes that they're giving it. So just a quick example of the NPS Plus. But because of the dynamic nature of organizations, we allow you to create unlimited dashboards. Here you can have unlimited dashboards for views. So if you wanted to have something like a quick view of the overall journey, you can actually look across not just one survey, but all surveys, and see an overall view, as well as look at the individual components of that journey, and be able to break it down. Sharing is simple. There's some settings here. So an administrator can enable it on the portal, and you can see that little computer icon that indicates it is enabled on the portal, and then be able to actually share with peers, which is something that sometimes gets lost in all these, is being able to share a view exactly as I'm seeing it with a peer that may not be able to see it that way. So I can actually add individual names and be able to share with that, there. And then, being able to take all that is, distributing it across all the information, and then being able to filter it down as needed. So you can integrate external data, for example, loyalty status, if you needed to, be able to use that as a filter and apply it within all these groups. And then, customize the views based on what you need to see for that time period. So as I mentioned, there's a lot of different types of charts, from a priority matrix, a heat map. Then, you can get distributed responses, weighted means. So a wide variety of tools that you can use, and to help the front lines understand and see what needs to happen on an action level. And then taking a step up from that, there's also some really key tools, such as correlation analysis, text analysis, that you can do outside of the dashboards that an administrator will need to be able to use. And all of this is driven because we have a very comprehensive set of administrative tools for the hierarchy. And rather than just limiting you to a traditional tree, which is usually how the branches are located, we also have the ability to really create sort of a matrix view, because we allow managers to be assigned to more than one node. So by assigning them to more than one node, you'll have that ability to not just assign a record to a transaction, but also assign a manager, or sometimes multiple managers within within that platform. So when you start integrating things like the voice of the employee and the voice of the customer, you'll have that common set of managers and that hierarchy to be able to bring it all together in that way. So that's just the extremely quick overview. So I will stop sharing. I do recognize that we're running up against time here, and I'll see if Paulina has any questions for us.
Hello, I'm back. So yes, we do have some questions. But as you mentioned, Ken, because of the time, maybe we're just gonna be able to go over one or two, if that's okay.
Yeah.
With you guys, with you and Shruti. Shruti, actually, let's add you to the stream. There we go. And perfect. And let's just set this one too. And here we go. Okay, so let's see, go to the comments. So Carla is asking, what should be the considerations to run a successful voice of customer program? So maybe Shruti or Ken would like to answer that one.
Sure. Are you able to hear me, Paulina?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Okay, great. So I think to create a VoC strategy or a successful VoC program, I think the first thing that we probably need to understand is the objective and the over, the question example. For example, why, have any customer retention rates dropped for a particular product, or, what do the customers feel about the Gateway's product or service. So we need to identify the questions and the objective behind the questions. That's something that we need to do. And also, what next is what we can plan is the like how to capture the VoC feedback, and what are the methods and channels that over which you would like to capture the customer feedback. It's online, it's through emails, messages, or even any marketing platform. So that's something that we need to identify. And with that, I think the team also needs to analyze the feedback efficiently. So analysis is an important part, and I think that's something that we need to see if what is that exact customer behavior that you are trying to capture, and what is the objective. So overall, I think or the ideal way is to identify the objective, then also realize what questions you want to ask and which channels you would like to reach out to your customers through. And obviously, with that, what is the method through which you would like to analyze the customer feedback that you gain from your customers across various channels.
Oh, thank you, Shruti. Is there, Ken, something you'd like to add?
Yeah, I think the one thing I'd add, and Shruti already mentioned it, but have a goal. Too often, it's I hear someone get on a phone call and they'll say, "Oh, I've just been tasked to field a survey," and that's not a goal. That's a step towards a goal. So just make sure you have that goal in mind. What function are you trying to prove, or functions are you trying to improve? And then the other part, as Shruti mentioned, being able to have those multiple channels, because the experience for a customer is not a single location or branch. It can be things that you're not looking at when they're away from the location. So, anything, if you're talking banking, it might be they're logging into the website and having that interaction from home, not necessarily with an employee. If you're talking streaming, it's being able to look at the content and they look through and say, "Oh, I don't find anything that I want." So um, that voice goes well beyond the walls of your institution.
Mm. That's right. Well, thank you, Ken and Shruti. That's true. I agree with that. Just having a goal, and also just not, sending a feedback, but also thinking about acting on the feedback as well. I think it's very important. And one of the other questions would be why there is a growing focus on targeted or customized service, and how do they help? So, Ken, would you like to start?
Yeah, I think there's two levels here. I think one, there's a lot of over surveying, I'll call it. So when you start targeting, you really can pick apart the pieces and communicate with the customer on their terms, which is just huge in my view. And that could be, oftentimes we talk about the mode in which we're approaching them, but we have to have all those modes available. And we mentioned some
Right.
of those: the intercepts, the SMS, the email. You have to have all those modes, but it's also letting them give feedback on the places that they want to give feedback. So it's oftentimes it's just a little thing, and then too often, as researchers, sometimes we say, "Oh, we have the customer on the line. Let's ask about this." Well, if we're talking about a website intercept, let's keep it focused on that. Let's keep it focused on those couple of questions and not ask about, hey, the last time you visited the bank branch. Let's also add that in, because that, while that information may be valuable to you, we also have to respect and value the customer's time. And then the customized part is it's just so huge. Being able to recognize, if someone's a loyal customer, and identifying them as such, addressing them by name, making them feel it's part of a communication and not just another, request for more information from you.
Yeah, I agree with that. Shruti, would you like to add something to it?
Yes, and I agree with Ken on that, and definitely. So targeted surveys, certainly help to capture relevant qualitative data during or after, a customer's interaction with the brand's frontline staff, and I think these surveys are also helping organizations capture feedback after a certain time is spent or certain amount of time is spent on the website by any customer, or if he or she uses any particular feature of the website or product or services. So I think various vendors and platforms I think are offering manual, automatic, or even both options to execute this targeted survey feature, where organizations can define several survey criteria which can be accomplished by both automatic and manual targeting for services to appear at the right time and in the right moment on the website or mobile or any preferred channels. So I think therefore there's this growing, focus on the customized surveys, and this is I think how it is helping the brands to deliver a personalized end-to-end survey experience.
Okay, thank you so much, Shruti and Ken. There's definitely a lot to think around what having a VOC program really entails. And just like you guys mentioned, there's no doubt that an effective voice of customer program should also help brands develop uh, comprehensive data produce accurate and reliable insights, and ultimately analyze data to improve customer experience. So I think we can just wrap this one now. Thank you so much for everyone to joining us today. Just stay tuned for our next CX webinars. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Shruti, so much. And yeah, see you. Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Ken. Thanks, Paulina. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.